Hi, my name's Marcus from Bookrata, and today I want to talk a little bit about the use case of Bookrata for schools at the state level or at the local level, and kind of how Bookrata could be implemented in your state and in your school system. And it's very customizable based on your needs. So, first of all, at the outset, the great thing about Bookrata is that we're not creating the standards for you. Every state and every community has their own standards, the way that they want to rate books, the things that are important to them. Bookrata just gives you the information. The system rates the content of a book in 6 different categories: sex, violence, language, wellness, religion, and LGBTQ+. And you may care about all of them. You may only care about 1 or 2 of them or 3 of them. Doesn't matter. It's customizable to what you care about. And then each category is broken down into 5 tiers. From 1, which is pretty much universal. Either the content's not there, it's non-existent, or it's universally accepted for any age, all the way up to a 5, which would be extreme, graphic, gratuitous, and pervasive. And so, again, you can make those decisions, and the ratings that you might decide are appropriate for the elementary school library are going to be different than the middle school or junior high, which will be different than your high schools or secondary schools. And all of that is already built into the system, so you can make those choices. So I want to show you here the library. Right now, this is all the books that Bookrata has in its library. It's constantly growing every day. So the options are whatever you decide to, or however you decide to use it. You can have access to our entire library as the library grows, or we can create a walled off library that only contains the books that are in your schools. And they can be tagged by elementary, middle, high school, junior high as well. But if you only want your system in your schools to have the books that are in your library, we can do that as well. So let's talk about kind of the different levels of implementation that would be possible. One would be a central control point. So whether at your state board of education or a central administrator, where any school librarian who wants to buy a book or has a question about a book or receives a complaint about a book sends that book up to that central point. They run it through Bookrata, request it through Bookrata, they get the rating, and then the decision is made and it goes down to the schools. So that would be kind of one super user account at the state level, and then it would go down from there. You could have accounts at the district level. So whoever at your districts are in charge of media and library, they could have an account and basically do the same thing. They run the search whenever a book is in question or is up for purchase. You could have it down to where every school library has an account, so the school librarian can run books. And maybe your state comes up with, for high school, you're allowed to have books that fit these specific tiers. Language can go up to a 4, sex can go up to a 3, violence can go to a 4, whatever settings that you come up with. And then the school librarians can just run the book, and if it is at or below those set ratings, they're authorized to purchase it. If it's not, or if it's questionable based on what Bookrata returns, then they can dive a little deeper. You could put it on the public-facing computers that students are able to use, where the card catalog, I guess it's not a card anymore, but the catalog is located for students to look up books. You could have just a general account there where students can look at books, pull a book from the shelves, and then look up the rating to see if it's something that they want to read. All the way down to you could purchase access for every student in your school system to have an account attached to their school account. So whether you use Canvas or Great Schools or all those different software programs that are attached to their school ID, we could do that as well, so that every student has the ability from home. Their parents have the ability to log in under their account and look up the ratings for books make choices in their home. So it could be approved by the school, but a parent has stricter rules than the school does, and so the parent could look it up there. A parent could also get a personal account for Bookrata as well, but that's just another option that the state could provide those through the school account. So those are some of the options, and I want to show you a little bit about how the filter works, because I know we broke it down by categories and what, in the research that we did, what categories people care about. But again, like I said, your school system may not care about those categories. There's even a possibility we could hide a category if it's something you really don't want. We would just hide that from your walled off account for your schools. But at the end of the day, if you look at these search features here, so if, say, religion is something that you don't care about, it's just not an issue for your school libraries, you just leave it open from 1 to 5, and then every book is included no matter what the rating is for religion. It just doesn't matter anymore. Same with any of the other categories. So usually the laws that are being written are to protect kids from sexually explicit content. So that would be a category that would be most likely one that you're concerned about. So you can set it right now. That's only books from a 3 to a 5. So that's backwards here. So I can set sexuality is now books from a 1 to a 3. So from nothing all the way up to a 3, which is kind of fade to gray. They know sex is happening, but it's not shown on the page. And now every book listed here meets that parameter. You could say, well, we don't really care, like we don't want pervasive language, but we're good with some, a few of the more serious words here and there. So we'll set that as a 4. You could even say, overall, we don't want our rating to be above a 4. That's up to you. That would mean that any book that has a 5 and a 4, so the overall rating is 4.5 and above, no matter what category it is, it would screen those out. But that's the great thing about this system is we don't make the choices for you. You make the choices for you. And then tag search is already built in, so as kids are looking for books, they can look for ones that are interesting to them, something that they want to read. The other feature that's currently in that we could beef up specifically based on what your needs are is the request a book function. So right now, this is just a user, private citizen user account that I'm showing you here. It's already built in that if a book, there are just so many books in the world that it's going to take us time. Our goal is to rate every book ever written, but of course that's going to take time and investment. So in the meantime, as we're building our library and rating books, constantly rating books, if there's one we haven't gotten to yet and it's one that you're interested in, so say your school librarian, there's a new book that just came out, the kids are asking for it, so the school librarian says, hey, maybe I should purchase this book for our library. So you have a policy that says she or he has to run it through Bookrata first to make sure that it meets whatever criteria you've set. So she goes into Bookrata, the book's not there. It's a brand new book. We haven't gotten to it yet. Your librarian can request that specific book. It'll bump it up to the top of our priority list and we'll run it specifically for them and provide it directly to that librarian, and it's now added into your school system account. So for a private account, it's a credit-based system. If the more requests you want, you either have to join as a member where you get so many requests a month, or you have to purchase credits, which gives you requests. But for an enterprise type account with a school, we would negotiate how many requests that equals and what that means, depending on how you want to use the system and how many users, the end users you have from. Are you going to allow students to request books, local school librarians, districts, state, or all of the above? So that's up to you. So it's really customizable based on your needs and how big or targeted you want it to be. But I just want to reiterate that the content ratings are based on our custom AI algorithm. So there are no human biases in the ratings. And of course, humans wrote the algorithm. So we did a ton of research on what people care about, what people are looking for, and the differences. And we've created this system, these tiers and categories. And now every book that is rated is consistently rated based on those. So even if you argue that maybe there was some bias or our personal values creeped into the original system, that doesn't matter because it's so consistent across every book. You can very easily get to the point where you recognize where your values lie or where your organization's values lie or where your requirements are. And then you can set each category, you can set it up to fit what you want, because our end is never changing. Our end is always going to be consistent. So there's a lot of different options, a lot of different ways that it can go for you. But I just wanted to kind of walk through a little bit on how it could work in a state or school system and how we can customize it to really meet the needs of your communities, your schools, and your state. Every state is different, and within every state, there's a wide variety of values, belief systems, and requirements. And Bookrata can fit all of that. We can make it work for everyone. So hopefully that's helpful. Let us know if you have any questions. Please reach out. We are always happy to talk some more and answer questions, and check out our other videos, and please subscribe so that you're notified when we post new videos. And thank you for watching.